All right, guys, we're going to do Snow Flight. This is a great piece. It's not very difficult to play, but it sounds really, really good. It sounds like a professional piece. And, music doesn't have to be hard to sound good. I used to always think, oh, if it's not super hard to play, I shouldn't waste any time learning a piece. I've got to do really complicated music. And after listening to some of my favorite artists, including Bill Frisell, play simple 3-chord tunes like nobody else can play them, and he can also play super complex tunes as well, I really took a different look at music. So we're going to do Snow Flight. It's a lot of fun to play. We're going to work on the left hand and the right hand. There's really only 2 main sections to Snow Flight and then a little 4-measure change. But once you have the first 8 measures and the second 8 measures, you really sort of have the whole piece, because it just repeats, and I think you'll enjoy. It'll be a quick learn. All right, so here we go. Let's dig in. First of all, I'm going to show you the left hand fingering measure by measure. Then I'm going to show you the right hand and left hand together. We're going to be using a technique to practice this with called right hand sequential planting, which will make the piece sound a little bit mechanical, but as you speed up the piece, the planting should disappear, and it'll be good right hand mechanic exercise. Here we go. So first of all, let me get you over here to my neck. The first measure is only 2 moves. You'll start the measure with a C on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then you're going to go to an A. Okay. The next measure 2, you just drop your E finger for the whole measure. Next measure 3, you'll drop your 3rd finger again for the first part of the measure, then your first finger on C for the second part of the measure, and the last measure, the top line, you just drop your 2nd finger on E. Next measure 5, you're going to drop your 4th finger on F sharp. The second part of the measure is all open strings, the 3rd string, 1st string, 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string, and then you're going to kind of hover, and then you'll drop your 2nd finger on A, your 1st finger on C for the first part of measure 6, and then the second part of measure 6, you're just open, back to your 4th finger on F sharp, then you'll be dropping your 2nd finger on E here, and your 1st finger on C. And then the next shift, you'll just move your 3rd finger to the 3rd string and drop your 2nd finger to the 3rd string, drop your 3rd finger on the 2nd string. And that's the entire moves. Sometimes it's good to just practice your left hand moves. I do that on pieces sometimes. So if I were playing the piece in rhythm, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, open, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I tried to snap my fingers just so you could hear the timing. Okay, now let's add the right hand. And sequential planting, the way it works is when you play it, I'm just going to use the 5th string, 2nd string, and 1st string. So my thumb will strike while these fingers are planted. So everything's touching the strings. My thumb strikes, and then my I finger strikes, my M finger strikes. As soon as my M finger strikes, my thumb is planted. As soon as my thumb strikes, I and M go down. So it's this exchange. Now, it might make the piece sound a little bit sterile, but what'll happen is as you kind of get this technique down and you speed up the piece, the planting disappears. So let's just try that. Let me see if I can get my left hand in here as well. Okay, here we go. That should work. So obviously, I'm going to be playing the 5th string, 3rd string, 2nd string with my right hand, and I'm going to try to demonstrate that playing. I'm going to back up just a little bit so you can see both hands. So I'm going to go really slow. I'm going to go P, I, M, P. Now I'm going to go to the 4th string with my thumb. Oops, I didn't plant that time, sorry. Now stretching out to the F sharp. Now, as you speed that up, the plant's going to disappear. But I feel like it's still there when I'm doing it, but it sort of disappears, and I think it does by sound, but I feel like my fingers are doing the same thing. Now, the sequential planting, one of the things that a lot of people do when they do this is it sort of keeps you from putting your thumb behind these fingers. Your thumb should be nice and straight, and one of the biggest things I've seen students do is do this. They kind of break their thumb down, it gets behind their other fingers. So you don't want that to happen. I used to sort of just do thumb strokes as a practice. Right now my thumb's a little weird because I just broke my thumbnail and it's really, really short. So sometimes I'm just having to kind of dig in and change my right hand technique just to get that in there. So real quick recap. First measure, my thumb is going to be on the 5th string, index on the 3rd, M finger on the 2nd. Then my thumb goes to the 4th string, nothing changes on my I and M finger. Still nothing changes. Now my thumb goes to the 5th string, my I and M finger go to the 1st and 2nd string. Now thumb goes to the 4th string, nothing changes in I and M. Now my 4th finger, nothing changes. Now my thumb goes to the 3rd string. I'm preparing my left hand to catch the chords in measure 6. Still 3, 2, 1. Open, 3, 2, 1. Thumb goes back to the 4th string and stays there. Now my thumb stays on the 4th string. Index goes to 3rd on the right hand, and my M finger goes to 2nd. Okay, then that part repeats again, and we'll do the second part of Snow Flight next. Have fun.